Rebecca, as I mentioned, people are kind of interested in, I suppose, the Far East, in India in particular, has been mentioned. Is there anything interesting you're kind of hearing on that front?
India does have amazing demographics, and China, as the comparator, is lacking those. China was supposed to roar back into life this year, and we haven't seen that yet.
Reopening trades, yeah.
And we've just seen a lot of people say China's uninvestable, which, suggests that sentiment is so poor toward China. If you want to be a contrarian, then, perhaps now is the time. But it's just hard because they're not a market economy like we're used to. They don't want their entrepreneurs to be overly successful in case they become too powerful, as we've seen in China. So, yeah, I mean, GDP growth in China it's not going to be at the levels that we've seen in the past, but it's still much better than what we're achieving in the West. And GDP is even better in India. Just, the Chinese stock market is much cheaper than the Indian stock market because, it's been easier for people to invest in India because we can understand it a bit better, I think. And China, we just don't really know what's going on underneath the surface. And there have been some massive, capital has been allocated really inefficiently in China in the past. And there's that hangover to work through in terms of, their real estate debt bubble. And, that's one of the reasons why the Chinese economy just hasn't roared back into life this year. I mean, local authorities, the construction's just not there. So local authorities aren't selling land, and construction companies aren't building because, they just took on too much debt, and they've just got to sort themselves out before they can really move forward. So yeah, China on a GDP level looks interesting in terms of the growth there, but is that going to translate into stock market performance? And are investors generally going to embrace the Chinese stock market again?